Welcome to the campus of Olympus High School, where the Olympus Titans will be looking to bounce back against Alta after suffering a crushing loss Tuesday night to Brighton. Alta, on the other hand, is coming off of a dominant performance where they won by over 50 against the still winless Highland Rams. This is Olympus girls basketball on OlyTV. I'm Lucas Pierce, joined tonight by
James Schwartz.
And let's get into the storylines for tonight's game. Olympus had their rivals on upset alert this past Tuesday, where they were doomed by a 19-0 Bengals run in the third and fourth quarters, which ultimately flipped the game in the way of Brighton. Olympus was playing one of their best games of the season early, as they took an 11-point lead into the third quarter. The game really came down to the Titans not really having much scoring outside of Josh Baker, and Baker kind of having an off night with her shot selection. This isn't the only loss Olympus is looking to bounce back from, as earlier this year they lost a close one to these very Alta Hawks. It was a tight one-all game, Olympus going into the fourth quarter with a 4-point lead, but ultimately Alta's defense clamped down and held the Titans to 7 points while they had 13 and won the game by 2. It was a battle between Josh Baker and Quincy Kegel, as Baker had 25 points and 19 rebounds, and Kegel had a double-double with 28 points and 10 rebounds. So that should be a fun matchup to watch again tonight. Now, who are some of Alta's best players to watch tonight? It is Aaliyah Baldessano and Quincy Kegel. Baldessano is averaging 12.3 points per game and had 16 points last game against Highland, and Kegel is averaging 15.1 points per game and had 17 points. So it will be quite a challenge for the Titans, who were able to slow down Baldessano in the first match, but not Kegel. And now let's head over to the keys to the game with James.
For Olympus, on the offensive side, they need to hold any leads that they get. Last game against the Brighton Bengals, they had a 9-point lead going into the half. They lost it after an incredible run from the Bengals through the second half, where they outscored the Titans 28-12, which led to their ultimate defeat 47-39. They need other players besides Josh Baker to score for them to be able to maintain their leads. The Titans missed almost all of their shots as the Bengals overtook them. Making shots efficiently will be another key point to help them hold their lead tonight. Defensively, Olympus has to get defensive rebounds. Last game, Brighton got 15 offensive rebounds against them, and the Titans only hauled in 5. This led to the significant point differential in the second half. Letting a team who is good at scoring like Alta get that many second chance possessions tonight will not lead to a victory for the Titans. For Alta offensively, they need to come out of the gate hot. This Oly team has shown that coming back from large or even sometimes small deficits can be a huge challenge for them. Leading scorer for the Hawks, Quincy Kegel, who averages 15.1 points per game, needs to be the dominant force to get the ball rolling for them in this game. On the defensive side, Alta needs to shut down Josh Baker. As we saw last game, she was one of the only offensive impacts keeping Olympus in the game. When the Titans were in a deficit, when the Titans are in a deficit, Josh Baker often forces her shots. So if the Hawks limit her and create a lead for themselves, they will be forcing Josh Baker to take those bad shots, resulting in a dub.
Thank you, James. Those are all great points. And now we're going to take a break for the national anthem. We'll be back with starting lineups in a second.
And now this time we ask that you stand at the table and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the presentation of our national anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's vast gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright
All right, and now we're going to get you with your starting lineups tonight. First, they're honoring Joss Baker.
In her incredible career at Olympus High School, will you please show us some love for the great number 5,
Yeah, they're honoring her for passing 1,000 points.
A really impressive mark. Baker's been great in her time here at Olympus, and this season has probably been her best, where she's averaging a double-double a game, a little over 20 points and a little over 10 rebounds every game. And now we're going to get you with your starting lineups tonight. Starting with Alta, who is third in region and number 10 in RPI right now. Number 1, Aaliyah Baldessano, as mentioned earlier, she's averaging 12.3 points per game, and she is a junior. Number 5, Quincy Kegel, also mentioned earlier, the junior that's 5'8", she's averaging 15.1 points per game and about 4 rebounds a game. Number 21, Brooklyn Larson, the senior, she has 56 points on the year. Number 24, Izzy Lewis, she's averaging 3.6 points per game, the freshman is. And then number 33, Brielle Baird, she's averaging 3 points per game and has 46 rebounds on the season. The Alta Hawks are led by head coach Julie Larson, are 13-8 and overall and 7-3 in region play.
And as you were mentioning in pregame, Baldessano and Kegel will be an impressive duo to watch tonight.
And now let's get you with the starting lineups for the Titans, who are 4th in region and number 14 in RPI right now. It'll be number 3, Cami Bontempo, the junior, averaging 6.2 points per game interaction this season. Number 5, Joss Baker, the senior guard/forward. Last game against Brighton, she had 19 points and 12 rebounds. Number 15, Claire Hazen, the senior forward, who's averaging 7.1 points per game. Number 23, Tessa Cromar, the senior guard. She had 8 points last game against Highland, which is right around her average for every game. And then number 24, Maddie Shimoda, the junior guard. She's averaging 3.5 points per game and has 30 rebounds this season. The Titans are led by head coach Whitney Hunsaker. They come in with an overall record of 9-8 and a region record of 4-5.
As we've mentioned before tonight, and we see even with that 1,000-point accomplishment, Joss Baker will be the scoring output for this Titans team tonight. But the other players are going to have to step up if they're going to be able to maintain any leads.
That's really the difference between these two teams coming into this one. Olympus has Joss Baker and Alta has Quincy Kegel, but Olympus doesn't really have much outside of Joss Baker, and Alta has Aaliyah Baldessano and whoever decides to step up in any given game. As the Titans control the opening tip, they pass it to Hazen, who lays it up and in. What a great start for the Titans.
Yeah, quick, efficient passing, wide open lanes.
And so it's Baldessano. She passes it off to Lewis. Lewis guarded by Hazen, and now it's Kegel. They pass it inside to Larson and out to Baldessano. Baldessano's guarded by Shimoda. She gets away with an offensive foul right there, and her basket is good.
And quick scoring from Baldessano, went up hard against Shimoda and got the floater to fall.
Baker guarded by Baird. And now Kegel, and she is going to draw the foul on Kegel, her first of the night.
Yeah, and you already see they're pressing Joss Baker. They're already starting to somewhat double team her. And yeah, they're trying to shut her down tonight.
Baker inbounding, looking to throw it to an open Titan. She finds Shimoda. They find Cromar for her first touch of the game. She's guarded by Larson. She's going to put up the three. That one is no good, and Baldessano comes down with the rebound.
Good shot selection from Cromar. She is one of the best three-point shooters on this Titan team.
Kegel thought about the three, instead doesn't take it. Now she passes it to Baldessano. Baldessano to Baird, and she's looking to drive. She has a lane. She's going to not lay it up and in, but she is fouled by Joss Baker.
And a bit of a missed opportunity for an and one there. She had, Baird had a pretty open lane to the basket. She'd been able to just get a nice push and spin on that ball. Easy and one for her.
but the Hawks will take it. Baird is at the line for our first free throws tonight. First one is up. That one is no good.
Correction, number 33, Baird. Shooting one more.
Bayard's second one is up. That one is long as well, and it's Baker who comes down with the rebound.
Baird almost recovered her own miss there, but good effort by Baker to haul it in.
Cromar passes it to Bontempo. She puts up a wild shot, and Kegel comes down with the rebound. Then she passes it up to Baldessano. Can she lay it up? No, she can't, and it's Hazen who comes down with the rebound. Cromar finds Shimoda. She's going to put up the three. That one is no good. Kegel with the rebound, and now she's bringing up the floor for the Hawks. It's a fast break opportunity. The shot by Izzy Lewis is no good, and Baker gets the rebound.
Already some impressive rebounding ability from Quincy Kegel.
And both teams a little cold from the floor after quick buckets by each of them. They're trying to go inside with Baker. She finds Bontempo, whose shot is no good. She collects her own rebound, puts it up, and it's not good again. Now it's Shimoda. They get it back to Bontempo. It's tipped away to Hazen. Cromar's going to shoot the three, and that one is good. First three of the game for Tessa Cromar and the Titans.
And that whole possession, I was just thinking, get it to Tessa Cromar. She's wide open at the top of the key, and she buries it home on her second attempt from three tonight.
You don't want to leave Tessa Cromar open from deep. She's going to make the majority of the baskets where she is wide open like that. They're going to go inside to Baird. She lays it up and in.
Not the most efficient from the free throw line, but you can see she's efficient from the paint.
Baker thought about the three. Now she's going to try to go around Baird, and then it's Izzy Lewis who commits the foul, second foul on the Hawks.
Now number 25, Uatafe in for Baird.
Uatafe, another freshman for Alta. You don't see two freshmen playing on a team very often, has 33 points on the season. She had 2 last game against Highland. Nearly a turnover by Shimoda, but they're going inside to Bontempo once again. Her shot this time goes in. No offensive rebounds needed for Cami Bontempo this time.
Bit of a wild shot, another wild shot there for her. Was a bit lucky to get that one to fall. You'd like to see her be forcing her shots a little bit less.
Kegel guarded by Baker, a jump ball. They're going to get Claire Hazen with the foul, her first of the game. And so inbounding once again will be Aaliyah Baldessano. Checking into the game for the Hawks is Sofia Ceballos. And Baldessano it looks like we have a ref malfunction right here. Or excuse me, a clock malfunction. The refs were doing their job here. They reset the clock to 4:09, and that's unfortunate for the Titans because they had that inbounds play pretty locked up.
Yeah, it was about to be called as a 5-second violation.
They get it in to Ceballos, and it's Baker who steals it away.
Great effort by Baker, making the play on defense and getting another possession for the Titans.
Shimoda finds Cromar, and Cromar's going to try to go inside to Bontempo once again, but it ends up being stolen away, and it's Baldessano bringing it up the floor.
And
that is tipped away by Tessa Cromar, and they'll say it is off of her.
Both teams struggling with accurate passing.
And it ends up being off of the Hawks, so great job by Tessa Cromar to get that turnover.
Yeah, after kind of the errant pass to Bontempo on the offensive side, made the hustle play on defense, got the Titans the ball.
Shimoda to Cromar, and they're going to try and go inside with Baker. Baker tries to get around to the defender. She isn't able to, and they call a foul.
Interesting call there as Uatafe, the freshman guarding Joss Baker, was doing a great job. Had both arms up, standing straight up, so interesting call there.
Cromar finds an open Claire Hazen. Her mid-range shot is good.
And that shot was pure. Didn't even touch the rim there.
It was a pretty shot to watch. Kind of went up there slowly and in. They pass it around to Uatafe, and now back to Ceballos. Baldesano is open from 3. She misses that one, and now it's Cromar bringing it up the floor.
That's the shot you want if you're Alta, but you also need to stop this accurate passing that the Titans have.
And Claire Hazen hits a 3. That's 2 straight possessions where she's made a bucket, and the Titans are up to an 8-point lead.
And that was a deep, somewhat contested 3 for Claire Hazen. Don't see that shot often from her, but great job as she nailed it.
And then it's going to be Bontempo with a foul on Kegel. Claire Hazen looking to bounce back from last game where she struggled a little bit, only had 2 points, 1 assist and a turnover. Tonight she's already eclipsed that mark. She has 7 points on the game.
Yeah, great job for her. And she has helped this Titan lead extend to 8 already here in this first quarter.
And this is what you like to see from the Titans. They have 12 points already. They're up by 8, and Joss Baker doesn't have any points yet.
And now it's going to be the theme of can they hold this lead? They were able to get a similar lead to this by halftime against Brighton. Will they be able to hold it against the Hawks?
Baldesano to Uatafe. She's going to get around Claire Hazen. Her lane, she ends up missing that layup, and now it's Baker bringing up the floor. Baker tries to get her go in between 2 defenders, but isn't able to, and the foul is called.
As Baker, I don't think you really need to try that hard to get a dribble inside there. You really just need to kick that out to Shimoda when you're on the 3-point line. The defenders were already starting to kind of close in around Joss Baker, so you've got to look for that pass.
Baker to Bontempo. Bontempo trying to go up with it. She is able to. Her shot is good. Tammy Bontempo up to 4 points.
The contested short shot in the paint, and she's made now 2 of those tonight.
Larson passes it to Baldesano. Baldesano tries to go inside, but she is fouled by Shimoda before she is able to. That is the Titans' 4th foul of this 4th quarter. Both teams with 4 now.
And a very efficient, we talked about this in pregame. Efficiency last game was a big issue, and a very efficient scoring quarter for the Titans so far.
And Julie Larson calls the first timeout of the game for the Hawks, who are really struggling. They had that quick first basket on their first offensive possession, and we haven't seen much of that since then.
Yeah, I mean, no points from the leading scorer, Quincy Kegel. That is always a problem, unless you're in the Titans' position where everyone else is also scoring.
And then Baldesano only has 2 points as well. So the Hawks are really just looking for any kind of scoring right now. And it really hasn't been because they're turning the ball over a lot. It's just been good, tight defense by the Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alta hasn't even necessarily been playing terrible defense. The Titans have been making some crazy contested shots, like the Claire Hazen deep 3.
The Titans have also been getting a whole bunch of offensive rebounds, which has helped them on multiple possessions as well. They go inside to Baird. Her shot is no good, and now Baker brings it up the floor.
Joss Baker, the rebounding machine, once again tonight.
Baker's looking to pass it. She finds Shimoda. This is going to be a deep 3, and that one is way off the mark. It'll be off of... It looks like they're going to call it off of Alta. Interesting by the ref. He didn't directly rule which way it was going, but it looks like it will be the Titans' ball.
Not exactly the shot you expect from Shimoda. She's not the most efficient 3-point shooter on this team.
Cromar. She's continuing to dribble the ball. Step back 3 is no good. But Bontempo gets the rebound. She passes to an open Claire Hazen. That's an air ball, and Baird with the rebound.
Well, Bontempo also hauling in some of these offensive boards.
Brooklyn Larson's going to pull up from 3. That is way off. Second straight air ball. And the Titans will have possession.
As we were saying before, Josh Baker has been the leading rebounder for this team tonight. She's averaging 10.9 on the year, averaging a double-double along with her 20.7 points.
Shimoda passes it to Baker. Baker's guarded by Baldessano. They're going to pass it to Gromar. She's open from deep. That one is no good. Hazen with the easy offensive rebound, but she isn't able to lay it up and in. Baker gets the rebound once again. This one is no good as well. Both of them rolled in and out.
Wow, yeah, I mean, both layups looked like they were good. Both barely bounced off the rim after the shots.
And then that is a traveling violation on Brooklyn Larson, who shuffled her feet trying to get around the Olympus defender.
Yeah, and kind of a critical mistake there, as if she hadn't traveled, she probably would have had an easy lane to the basket.
We have about a 9-second difference between shot and game clock. Bontempo's shot will be up. It is no good. And the rebound by Megan Johnson. But the Titans get a turnover and then turn it right back.
And as the Titans, you've got to be aware, once Cromar gets that turnover, you've got to create some way for her to pass the ball out.
It's Kegel who's guarded by Baker. She still has no points on the game. Baldessano's shot is no good. Was off the mark. Now there's 13 seconds left for the Titans to get some points before halftime. It'll be Baker directing the offense. They're now at 5 seconds left in the first quarter. She's going to pull up from 3. That one is off. And the Titans will head into the second quarter with a 14-4 lead. A really impressive performance on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, only allowing 4 points and no points for the Alta Hawks leading scorer. Great defense by the Titans, efficient offense, and even at places in there, you could definitely tell some shots were being forced. Sometimes it didn't matter. Sometimes they were still making them. They shot very efficiently from inside and from 3 in that first quarter. And for Alta, you've got to draw up some plays for both Aaliyah Baldessano and Quincy Kegel, as their offense doesn't look like it has anything planned. It just looks kind of wild, and the Titans are locking them down completely.
I agree. Alta needs, specifically, I think they need to get the ball in the hands of Quincy Kegel more. She has 0 points and is really struggling right now. Baldessano has had a few opportunities. She made one, but then towards the end of that first quarter, she missed a shot in the paint. So we'll see what they draw up.
Yeah, and if you're Kegel, you've got to get into that shooter's mindset. You've got to, every time you get the ball, be looking for the shot. She's the most efficient scorer on this team, so no one on that Alta team will blame her if she tries to create a shot.
Baker trying to get it in. She finds Shimoda right before the 5-second violation is called. Cromar passes it inside to Baker. The spin move doesn't work, and the rebound by Audrey Schmickrath.
Bad miss is Cromar. That was a dot of a pass.
And that'll be an and one for Aaliyah Baldessano, as they gave her the follow through after the foul by Maddie Shimoda.
Interesting decision to give her the and one there, as the whistle felt like it was called before the shot went up.
I agree. I was surprised. It felt like there was a long break before she finally put up that shot. So the Hawks will take it, though. They really needed that possession as Grace Schwartz checks in for Shimoda.
Yeah, there's Baldessano. She's now up to 5 points on the night.
Cromar, and she has it stolen away by Kegel. Pass was a little too telegraphed, and that layup is good, plus the foul. So the Hawks made this a game real quickly into this second quarter. Just a little over 30 seconds in, and they're already within 5.
Yeah, 5-0 run for the Hawks. if Kegel makes it, it's 6-0 in a 4-point game, and she does.
And so it's a 14-10 lead. You mentioned earlier how Olympus doesn't have any trouble getting to these leads. The problem is holding them.
Yeah, and tonight, part of it is the inefficient scoring from Joss Baker. She hasn't made a shot yet.
And that's always good. It's always great to see that you can get the lead without Baker being super efficient, but eventually you have to rely on her to score at least some. Cromar finds Baker. She's trying to go around Baldessano, and her shot bounces in. She got the lucky bounce, and there are her first points of the game.
Yeah, and, you know, at this point, didn't really matter if it was forced. You've got to get your best player rolling a bit on offense. As now we've seen both leading scorers for both teams get their first points of the night on the last 2 possessions.
Baker's free throw is up. It is a little long, and Bontempo comes down with the rebound, but it's Schmickrath who steals it away.
So Bontempo getting the rebound. Again, just finding ways to create passes out of those situations.
They try to go inside with Schmickrath, but she's going to have it stolen away. Great job by the Titans defense. Cromar is going inside to Cami Bontempo. They pass it back out. Erickson's 3 is up, and it is good. The Titans respond to Alta's 6-0 run fantastically.
And Annie Erickson, the freshman, has played great in every game she's come in. Her total is now up to 20 points on the year.
Driving to the basket is Megan Johnson, but that shot is no good, and Erickson got the rebound. Now Cromar thought about driving. Now she passes to Baker. Baker thought about the 3, and she's going to go around Baldessano. She passes it to Bontempo, and that shot is good.
Got the pump fake, drew the defender, left Bontempo a wide open layup on the left side.
Baldessano to Johnson, who's guarded by Erickson. Now they're trying to go inside with Kegel. She isn't able to, so she passes it back out. And then that pass will be out of bounds off of Alta.
Great recovery by the Titans. Lead back up to now 11, 21-10.
And now checking into the game for the Hawks, it is Izzy Lewis and Brielle Baird. And for the Titans, Claire Hazen checks in for Cami Bontempo.
Cromar been the lead ball handler on these last few possessions for the Titans.
Yep, ever since Shimoda came out, Cromar's taking that role of point guard well. Cromar passes it to Schwartz. She's thought about the 3, now she's driving. Her shot is up, and it is good. Nice floater by Grace Schwartz right there.
Again, great ball movement by the Titans. Kind of been a theme tonight. Accurate and quick passing. Alta can't keep up with it.
And that'll be tipped out of bounds by the Titans, but you can see how good their defense has been tonight. They've intercepted passing lanes. They have not given Alta easy shots to make it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you've got to be setting some screens to help get Kegel open, in my eyes at least.
They are definitely not setting any screens right now. As they're trying to go inside with Baird, they aren't able to. They pass it back out to Larson. And now it's Lewis who puts up the shot. That one is no good.
Again, another great defensive possession for this Titan team.
Baker is going to be fouled on her drive. They don't call continuation this time, so it'll be an inbounds play for the Titans.
Already almost halfway through the second quarter, and the Titans have extended their lead to 13 after a bit of a scare when it got down to 4.
And that will be a jump ball. It was intercepted by Izzy Lewis. And Alta will get possession once again.
Good hustle play by Izzy Lewis. I believe that's the second jump ball she's caused.
You don't really see that many jump balls caused that way off of the inbounds pass while the defender is looking the other way. But great awareness by Lewis. And now Kegel trying to get around Cromar. She isn't able to. She passes it into Lewis, and that shot doesn't go in the hoop, and it's Schwartz bringing it up the floor quickly. She passes to Erickson, and Cromar I thought she was going to pull up from 3, but instead she passes it to Schwartz, who's going to shoot the 3, and that one bounces out. And then we have our second jump ball of the second quarter as Cami Bontempo and Eliza Johnson are checking in for Tessa Cromar and Grace Schwartz.
Interesting jump ball call there. It seemed like the Titans either had possession or neither team had possession for most of that.
Erickson tries to go inside to Baker. She's double teamed, so she brings it back out past the perimeter. Guarded by Baldessano. She loses control and then regains control but is fouled before then. So another inbounds play for the Titans, as we've seen a lot of stoppages in the second quarter.
Yeah, several jump balls and fouls right in a row.
And now we have another timeout as Coach Hunsaker calls one, the first of the half for the Titans. Interesting timeout called by Hunsaker right here.
It seems as though she's just trying to help the offense stay organized. You saw on that play and on a couple plays before as well, players kind of running into each other, clogging up the lanes. You got to make sure you have good spacing. You got to make sure everyone is on the same mindset on what play is kind of trying to unfold.
And so now the Titans will have an opportunity to run the play that Coach Hunsaker draws up in the timeout huddle. For Alta, what do you think they're talking about here as they try to claw back from this 13-point deficit?
Well, they've got to be talking about their offensive production. The defensive production is worrisome, but they had their run at the beginning and then can't get anything now. So they've got to figure out how to balance offense and defense because they had their offensive run, but then
this definitely is uncharacteristic by the Alta offense, who is averaging 51 points a game. Eliza Johnson looking to get it in, and it ends up being a turnover, intercepted by Kegel. Kegel finds Baldessano. She thought about the 3. Kegel's going to shoot the 3 this time. It is no good, but Baird isn't able to tip the rebound in the direction of Alta. The Titans turn it over, and that shot is blocked away by Joss Baker, and she saves it to Eliza Johnson.
Great defensive possession for the Titans.
Annie Erickson's going to put up a 3. That is an air ball, and Baker's somehow able to save it in to the Titans again. Now it's Eliza Johnson who's going to put up a 3, and that one is good.
Wow, the 3 from Eliza Johnson and 2 inbound saves from Joss Baker.
What a wild sequence for the Titans right there, who will happily take it as they extend their lead to 16. And then we have another traveling violation on Alta. All the momentum is in the favor of the Titans right now.
And also, you love to see that make for Eliza Johnson. Last week against Brighton, she had 4 or 5 wide open 3-point shots that did not go in later in that game. So making one tonight and extending the lead to 16, great job by Johnson.
You have to wonder if maybe the Titans came out a little motivated after they blew the lead last game. They really want to get a win here, find some consistency in region play. Baker's going to put up a shot. That one is good, plus the foul. So Baker will be heading to the line, looking to extend the Titans' lead to 19 points.
And this all-around offensive production is something that this Oly team has needed to do better all year. This game has been one of their best games of spreading the offense. A lot of players have points, and look what happens. They're up 18 against a team who beat them on a buzzer beater last game.
Baker's first one is up. That one, first one, it's her only one. And now the Titans look to play that tight defense they've been playing all game. Kegel guarded tightly by Baker. They're passing around the perimeter. Baldessano's going to take a deep 3. That one is way off, and they're going to call it. Not sure what the ref is calling here. It looks like they're going to call it. They're going to call it off of the Titans. Maybe Baker stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, something with her stepping out of bounds and inbounds, something like that.
And that is tipped out of bounds by Tessa Cromar. who jumps onto the cheer mats right there. Comes back with a smile.
It's hard for Kegel to get any points as she's being locked up by Joss Baker.
Baker having one of her best defensive performances of the season, I think. And then the Titans force yet another turnover, so they will be getting the ball right back.
Wow, and this is not how we expected it to be with still 2.5 minutes to go, as the Titans are on pace to score more than 60 points if they put up one more basket in this half.
And to put in, this is pretty wild for the Titans, as Alta has been one of the most consistent teams in region play. They started off the year 1-4, and they've only lost 4 games since then. So this is quite the first half by the Titans. The question is whether they'll be able to hold on to it in the second half. Baker's going to drive. This layup is no good, but Tallulah Colton comes down with the rebound, and then her shot is blocked, and it's off of Quincy Kegel.
Colton did not get any playing time last game against Brighton. Interesting decision, as she can be a key rebounder for this team.
They inbound it to Baker. She's going to put up a 3. That one is off. And then they're going to call an over-the-back foul on Tessa Cromar, who tried to tip it to one of her Olympus teammates and just wasn't able to. Checking into the game for the Titans is Annie Erickson for Tessa Cromar, who has 2 fouls.
And I love to see this. Annie Erickson's production when she's been on the court has been incredible all year. To seeing her get playing time, now with a huge lead, but when it was a closer game, she was also getting playing time. And Hunsaker really seeing the impact she makes on the court.
Kegel's going to put up a 3. That one is no good, and they're going to call a foul on Joss Baker right there. It looked like she was just boxing out right there. I'm not quite sure with the foul call by the ref.
Yeah, interesting decision there. Seemed like the Alta player jumped somewhat over Joss Baker, and it looked like it was clearly going to be called an over-the-back foul on Alta. So I don't know what the refs called even on that possession.
Joss Baker had some language for the refs after that one. And now it's Larson who finds Baldessano, who's open from that one is way off. And Bontempo gets the rebound. And then it's tipped away by Lewis, and Bontempo controls once again. The Titans have to get it up the court. They have 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and they do.
And that was a bit of a ball don't lie moment, as Baldessano's 3 was nowhere near the basket.
And then a traveling violation is called on Joss Baker, as she might have lifted her pivot foot. And now coming into the game is Brianna Kidiona for the Titans. Coming out is Joss Baker, who will probably sit out for the rest of the half.
Joss Baker coming out. She's a little heated, and that ref seems to have a bit of a vendetta against her.
It should be a matchup we're excited to see for the rest of the night. It's Brooklyn Larson. She passes it inside to Izzy Lewis. Now Baldessano driving. Her floater is up. That one is way off, and it's tipped into Kidiona's hands. Now it's Schwartz who passes it up to Bontempo, to Erickson, who lays it up and in. Great passing by the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, when you get efficient passes, when you're looking for the open people, you're going to get those easy points.
Shot goes in and out for Sofia Ceballos, and now it's Erickson who passes it to Kidiona. Titans can basically hold for the last shot here if they choose to do so. Hazen passes it to Cami Bontempo, and then she is fouled by Lewis, as they were both going for the ball.
Yeah, got swarmed by Hawks defenders there the second she got the ball.
The Titans are currently on a 17-0 run to end this game. If they can make these 2 free throws, it'll be a 19-0 run, which, funny enough, doomed them in their last game.
Yeah, I mean, if they can play every game like they're playing tonight for the rest of the season, they will have no trouble maybe even moving up in region and succeeding in the playoffs.
Second free throw by Bontempo bounces out, and the rebound, and Ceballos gets the rebound. Now it's Baldessano who passes to Brooklyn Larson. That three is another air ball for Alta. It's been a common theme tonight. Now there's 5 seconds for the Titans. Bontempo passes it to Hazen, and Hazen tried to get it to Schwartz, but it was tipped. And so we will head into halftime. What a first half for the Olympus Titans, who go in with a 31-10 lead.
And at this point, it feels like not even a 19-0 run could save the Alta Hawks, as I don't think the Titans offense will be slowing down in this second half.
And mainly for Alta, they need to figure out something on defense to stop the Titans offense, but they also need to find, but more importantly, they need to find something on the offensive side where they're really having no success at all in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they put up 4 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second quarter, and the Titans, I believe, put up at least 14 in the first and are now up to 31.
And so we will head into halftime with the Olympus Titans holding a 21-point lead. I'm Lucas Pierce.
I'm James Schwartz.
And we'll be back for the second half.
Welcome to the floor, your cheer team. bring your attention to the floor and get loud with a great Nick Lefevre and welcome out your Olympus Dance Company. Let's hear it for the Olympus High School Dance Artistry and Dance Company. That's led in the direction by Jesse Nicole. And tonight's dance was choreographed by Lily Bruce.
All right, welcome back to Olympus High School, where the Titans have a 31-10 lead. I'm Lucas Pierce, joined by
James Schwartz.
And what a first half it was for the Titans, who really dominated in every facet of the game.
Yeah, and the story was accurate passing and quick and easy scoring for the Titans. I mean, a 21-point lead at halftime against Brighton last game. Brighton went on a 19-0 run. Right now, not even that could save the Hawks.
And right now, we'd also like to update you on the boys team who's playing right now at Alta. What a matchup that is, as they are currently down by 7, about midway through the third quarter. But to start this one here at Olympus High School, it'll be Alta with the ball in this third quarter.
Alta's got to get on a hot streak.
Kegel's shot is up and is no good, but she is fouled by Maddie Shimoda, I believe. So that is Shimoda has 3 fouls already, I believe. So have to figure she'll be getting subbed out sometime soon with foul trouble. First one for Alta is good, and that breaks a 17-0 scoring run for the Titans. Second one is good as well, and it's Annie Erickson checking in.
And for Alta, you knew that Kegel was going to be the answer to score for them tonight. We've been saying it all throughout the first half, and she gets the opportunity and makes both her free throws there.
Now it's Cromar guarded by Kegel. Cromar's trying to go inside to Joss Baker. Joss Baker gets over Baird, but her shot is an air ball. Now they find Claire Hazen. That's going to be a long 2 as her toe is on the line. And she knocks over Aaliyah Baldessano, and it's Alta who has the possession.
Good defense by Alta. 1 possession down, a lot more to go.
Now Baldessano's going to put up a shot, and she is fouled as well. So now she will be headed to the line.
She capitalizes on this and makes it a 17-point lead.
And this is exactly what you don't want to do if you're the Titans. Give Alta free opportunities at the free throw line, as Baldessano misses her first one.
Yeah, not a huge deal if Alta can't make their free throws though.
Second one is that one is no good as well, but it's Lewis who gets the rebound. Her layup is no good. Now it's Baird who puts up a layup, and they finally make one, and that breaks the long field goal drought for Alta.
The box out board and bucket for Baird.
Now it's Baker trying to go inside with Erickson. She tries to get around the defender, isn't able to, and she is fouled. And it looks like the refs will be giving her free throws. She'll have 2 of them. First one is up, and it is good.
6 points tonight for Annie Erickson, the freshman. So great night for her. I'm not aware if this is a season high, but it's got to be close to it.
She doesn't get a lot of playing time on the varsity team, but when she has this season, she's made the most of it. Baldessano passes it to Larson, and then back to Baldessano. They're trying to set a screen, but they can't go inside to Kegel. And now it's Baird who loses control of the ball, and it'll go off her leg, and Olympus will get the ball once again.
Olympus is going with a bigger lineup in right now. Not a whole lot of their smaller guards in.
And that could be a lot of the reason why they've had so much success tonight, is their height advantage. Cromar's turnaround jumper is no good, and Bontempo wasn't able to steal away from Alta, so it's Baldessano who has it for the Hawks. She moves around Bontempo, and she travels with it. That'll be yet another traveling violation on the Hawks, who have had quite a few of them tonight.
Yeah, and she was frustrated, but that was pretty clearly a travel as she picked up the ball and took 3 steps right in a row.
And now Cromar, who's been point guard for the majority of the game for the Titans, passes it to Baker. Baker with the spin move. She, with the Euro step, isn't able to put the shot up, but she gets her own rebound and is fouled. So she will be at the free throw line.
And that's one where you don't need to try to kind of work against the entire defense on your own. You've got teammates out on the perimeter. You're up by a lot. You don't need to try to force these shots.
First one by Baker is up. It bounces out. But she will get another chance to put the Titans up by 20. And the second one is good, so she does do just that. And then Olympus calls a timeout after the free throws. They'll have 3 left after this one.
Interesting timeout for the Titans. They've got a big advantage here. Maybe just trying to make sure they're all locked in and know the game plan coming out of halftime.
Definitely. This is around the time in the game last week where Olympus started to stumble and blow that 11-point lead that they had. So maybe it's Coach Hunsaker just trying to jump on it before Alta has the opportunity to come back.
Yeah, and well, at least from what we've seen at the start of this third quarter, and they're looking to hold on to this lead, and they're doing it well. Still a 20-point lead with about 2 minutes gone.
It'll be Larson inbounding to Baldessano. Baldessano to Larson. Once again, Olympus in a zone defense right now. Jump ball, and they have the possession arrow.
Wow, and I believe that is 3 jump balls that Izzy Lewis has been involved in tonight.
Cromar brings it up the floor for the Titans and passes it right to Baker. Baker guarded by Baldessano. Bontempo was open from 3, didn't take it. Now they pass it around the perimeter. Erickson, and they find they find Hazen, who misses the 3 and then is fouled trying to get the rebound.
Interesting call. Neither team really had an advantage in that situation. Didn't really see the need for a reach or foul there.
Cromar is guarded by Kegel as she is inbounding. Baker now trying to go up with it. She is able to, and her layup is good.
And she immediately went up against Baldessano. 5'5" against 5'10". Big mismatch.
Kegel's mid-range jumper is no good. It was an air ball. I'm pretty sure it was blocked on the way up. Now it's Ceballos, whose shot is good.
Haven't seen a lot of production from her tonight, but makes a nice basket there after the miss from Baldessano.
They find a cutting Erickson, whose shot is no good. A bit of an awkward shot, and it will be Alta ball.
Alta basketball.
Baldessano will be guarded by Baker, but the Titans in a zone defense. Kegel now finds Larson from mid-range, and that one is good. So Alta starting to find their stroke on offense a little bit as they have half of Olympus's points. The score is 36-18.
Needed bucket for Larson as she had taken a lot of shots, not made any until that moment.
And they're going to call a jump ball, and the possession arrow will be in the direction of the Hawks. We've had quite a bit of jump balls in this one.
Yeah, I believe that's 4 or 5 now, and three of them involving Izzy Lewis.
They pass it to Ceballos and then to Baldessano. Can Alta get around the zone defense once again? No, they are not able to as it's tipped away and Eliza Johnson is going to bring it up the court. Josh Baker finds an open Bontempo. She gets up around Baird. That's an air ball.
Not seeing as much of the accurate, quick passing to make for easy shots from the Titans.
And Baldessano's three is good. So Alta starting to claw back just a little bit. As it's 36-21, the deficit is only 15.
So they've shortened the lead by 6. Had a beautiful three there from Baldessano. If they can make more of those, as I believe Kegel has missed 2 of her somewhat open threes, if they can be more efficient from the three-point line like Baldessano was there on that nice shot, then they'll be able to shorten this lead by more than just 6 going into the 4th.
And for Coach Hunsaker, she calls another timeout. What do you think she's talking about here with the Titans as they try to limit Alta's momentum?
Well, obviously she's talking to them about defense. She's saying, hey, our lead has been shortened by 6 points. We've got to lock in on defense. But also, she needs to kind of impress on their minds quick, accurate passing, and that's what's going to make for those quick and easy shots. Don't get into the habit of forcing your shots when you're up by this much. Still, you want to have a quick and efficient offense.
Johnson to Baker, and they're setting a screen with Bontempo. She goes in the opposite direction of the screen, and her mid-range jumper is no good, but she was fouled on the way up, part of the reason why she missed, so she will be at the line.
We're seeing a bit of a pattern that we've seen before. Josh Baker getting the ball at the start of the possession, and trying to make a shot for herself.
The first one by Baker is up. It is good. She's usually so accurate at the line for the Titans. She doesn't miss a lot of her free throws.
Yeah, and that's why you can't say her shots aren't smart when she goes up and gets a chance for 2 at the line.
The second one is up, and that one is good as well. So Baker goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line and stops the bleeding for a second for the Titans. And that is tipped and stolen away by Josh Baker. Josh Baker nearly loses control of the ball. She finds a cutting Annie Erickson, who isn't able to lay it up and in. Bontempo's shot is no good, and the rebound is controlled by the Hawks.
Yeah, just pushed it a little too hard. Erickson with her miss, and then Bontempo was a little bit under the backboard in an awkward position to lay it up.
Larson driving into the paint. Her shot is no good. Baker with control of the ball. Now she brings it up the floor quickly. Tessa Cromar with it now. She's guarded by Quincy Kegel. Kegel's been quiet tonight. Only has 4 points, which is very low for her. Baker finds a cutting Erickson once again. This time, Annie is able to lay it up and in.
Beautiful pick and roll by Annie Erickson, and she's only a freshman. She's going to be doing that here for the next couple years.
Larson finds Baldessano, and Baldessano lays it up and in as Alta's trying not to let Olympus run away with this one.
17-point lead for the Titans. They got it back up to that.
Cromar's layup is good this time, and the Titans extend their lead to now 19 points.
And Cromar, a very efficient scorer and great second option for this Titans team.
The Hawks called a timeout here, as it looks like Baird is a little injured right now. And we're going to hope that she is okay. For the Titans, they're just looking to keep the momentum up, make sure that they don't let Alta cut into their lead too much.
And for the Titan boys, at the end of the third quarter, they are down 4 at Alta. We'll see what they can do by the end of that game.
Matchup between those two is always a great one. You always have a great atmosphere from both schools. which have really been the class of 5A boys basketball.
Yeah, last game when Alta was here at Olympus, Olympus handled them very well. Won by double digits, I believe.
They actually won by 8, but
won by 8.
Close enough.
But Titans won with a somewhat comfortable lead, but it was still a close game all night, and the atmosphere was incredible.
Kegel inbounds it. Kegel guarded by Baker. Kegel finds a cutting Ceballos, and she is fouled on her way up.
Ceballos, the impressive shot almost went in, just barely rolled out.
And so Alta will be looking to cut into the deficit once again at the free throw line. That's where they made most of their progress, trying to cut into the deficit early in this first quarter was at the free throw line.
Yeah, and
Ferguson, number 3 for the Hawks. The junior has only 2 points this season.
And yeah, not often that you see these upperclassmen coming in late and the freshmen playing very valuable minutes.
Cromar has it, loses control of the ball for a second, but regains it. Now it's Johnson trying to move around the screen of Colton, and she is fouled. Johnson trying to move around the screen of Colton, and she is fouled by Brooklyn Larson on said screen.
Alta foul called by number 21, Brooklyn Larson, her first personal foul.
Titans still very efficient and well-oiled machine on offense.
And the Titans are in the bonus, so any other fouls in this third quarter, and they will be at the free throw line. Colton making her first trip to the line tonight. That one is no good. Rolls in and out.
So we'll see if she can extend the lead to an impressive 20 points at the start of the fourth.
And you never really expected the Titans to do this. I mean, this first game between these two were so close. And Alta's been so consistent this year that this is really a surprising outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. This game, as you were saying, this last game so close, was decided in the final minutes, and the Titans said, and especially after that disappointing loss to Brighton, they locked in and are now up 20 heading into the fourth.
Baldessano drives. Her layup is no good. Really tough shot right there. And it's Johnson bringing it up the floor. There's 5 seconds left. She passes it to Cromar. There's 2 seconds left. She's going to step back from 3. That one is an air ball. But the Titans have a 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and they're 8 minutes away from their 5th region win of the season.
Super impressive performance from the Titans tonight, and there's not a lot that they did wrong tonight. They were efficient on offense and on defense. There was a scoring spread all around, so great effort by the Titans. And for Alta, they just looked stunned by the end of the first. Not much they could do.
And really, it's been Olympus's defense on Quincy Kegel, who only has 4 points tonight. Alta's best player, who's averaging 15.1 points per game. When she's not scoring at that rate, it's hard for Alta to get much going on offense. And so at the start of this fourth quarter, we'll see if Alta can make this any type of game as we come down to the final minutes.
Yeah, and at this point, it feels very much like too little too late. And still, as we said before, if they can recreate the 19-0 run the Brighton team had against Olympus, they still would be down 1.
It would be very demoralizing for the Titans if they let another 19-0 run go with a big lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hazen finds a lane. Her shot is blocked, though, and they're going to call a foul on Brooklyn Larson.
Alta foul call on number 21, Brooklyn Larson, her second personal foul. At the line for the Titans, shooting 2, Claire Hazen.
Hazen will be at the line. Her first one is up, and it is no good. There's one thing the Titans could improve on from this game. It's been that it could be their free throws. They've struggled a little bit from the line.
Claire Hazen sinks the second and ups her total points to 8.
She's been fantastic for the Titans tonight. Larson thought about the three. Now she passes it to Ferguson. The mid-range jumper is no good. Baker knocks it away and controls the rebound. Baker passes it out to Claire Hazen. This three is up. This three doesn't bounce in, but Bontempo puts the offensive rebound back up, and she will be at the free throw line.
Bontempo's made a good rebounding effort tonight, as she has almost matched Joss Baker's production in that area.
The first one for Bontempo is up, and it is good.
And nothing but net on that beautiful free throw shot.
And that's what the coaches like to see. They always like to see when free throws are made, as of course that one is missed.
Unfortunate.
It's Kegel guarded by Baker, and they pass it to Baldessano. Baldessano guarded by Erickson. Kegel trying to go around Joss Baker, and she dribbles it out of bounds. It's just been one of those nights for her.
Yeah, and if you're Alta, you want to keep playing hard, and you want to keep your heart in this game, but you also have got to start, their mindset has got to be shifting a bit to just thinking about next week, thinking what they can do to be better themselves and better prepared.
As Baker makes that layup, looking at Alta, this probably ends any hopes of them getting a bye, as they were already below that cut line at 10 in the RPI. You have to assume this may lower them a little bit, but they will stay securely at third in the region as long as they win next week.
Yeah, this really is just another game where the Titans are showing, hey, we can be a playoff contender in region. But also, questions you've got to have is consistency. The Titans have had on and off these games where they have a lot of production and blowout wins, but then they have a bad loss. So they've got to be more consistent with these great offensive production wins.
As Kegel makes that three and finally gets her point total up to 7.
And we needed to see that way earlier tonight.
Kegel gets the rebound, and she passes it up to Baldessano, who lays it up and in.
Some nice ball movement and a nice lay by Baldessano. She got up and around her defender, but we needed to see this duo going to work like they are right now in the first half.
They're going to try and do everything they can to make a comeback, though, as Baker gets around Ferguson and lays it up and in.
And Alta's got to figure out something, as it's a bit of a mismatch to have Cammie Ferguson on Joss Baker.
It's Ferguson who's guarded by Bontempo, and now to Kegel. They try and go inside with Baldessano. That shot is no good. And so the Titans, you have to assume, will start running a little bit of clock on these offensive possessions. Cromar driving. Looks like she almost purposely bounced it off of the Alta defender, and so Olympus will be inbounding. Cromar finds a cutting Eliza Johnson. That layup is no good. Bontempo with yet another offensive rebound. Shimoda's three is up, and it is good.
Gotta feel good for Shimoda after getting in some foul trouble, missing one earlier tonight.
Shimoda immediately makes her presence known as she comes back into the game for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and it's been part of the reason why Cromar, who's handling the ball and misses that layup, had to be ball handling for a lot of the game.
Cromar wasn't happy about that layup miss. Kegel's jumper from a little past the free throw line somehow bounces in. And so the deficit for Alta is 20 with 4 minutes left. As you said earlier, it's probably just a little too late.
Yeah, and we talked about the balance between offense and defense. Alta got a lot of scoring output there on the last couple possessions, but the Titans matched it and are still up 22.
And that'll be a steal by Eliza Johnson. She has no defenders around her, and she misses the layup.
And sad outcome there for Eliza Johnson. The wide open lane to the easy layup. Sometimes just the wide open pressure is even worse than the contested.
And then Shimoda now gets her 4th foul of the game as we are exactly at the midway point of this 4th quarter.
We'll see if Alta's got any juice left in them, see if they can show some hope for their team for next game.
Lewis guarded by Bontempo. They pass it out to Kegel. Kegel's driving. Her mid-range shot is good.
And Kegel has now scored 7 in this quarter. But as we've been saying, it's too late. Kegel needed to have this offensive production earlier in the game.
They're going to call a foul on Bontempo, who attempted to swat the ball away from Izzy Lewis. That'll be Olympus's 3rd foul, with 3:39 left in the 4th quarter. 2 more by the Titans, and Alta will be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
And as Olympus, you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to run out this game clock.
And then a traveling violation on Megan Johnson. The Hawks are going to want to clean that up as they end their season and go into the postseason.
Yeah, a lot of travels tonight, and as a team that's 3rd in region, you just don't expect it.
That'll be stolen away by Quincy Kegel. It's a 2-on-1. Kegel is able to do it all on her own, lay it up and in.
Well, after the impressive layup where she went around Cromar did play great defense on that 2-on-1.
And then it looks like we had Baldessano, who was hit in the face. Looks like it was Joss Baker who might have done it, and the refs are.
And it was an aggressive move by Joss Baker. It didn't seem like a non-basketball move in any way. It seemed like if it gets called a tech, I wouldn't be too surprised, but it seemed like Joss Baker was just doing an aggressive back down.
And while the refs are discussing what foul to call here, we are going to give you an update on the Olympus boys basketball team, who are in an incredibly tight game with about 1 minute left in the game. They are tied 58-58.
So the game at Alta for boys, much, much tighter than the one at Oly.
There's a intentional foul called on the play.
And they're going to call a foul on Joss Baker, an intentional foul.
Yeah, I believe so. Technical free throws for Alta.
Baldessano will be shooting them. Glad to see her up after the hard contact play. And so she will be shooting 2 at the line with no defenders around her. First one is up, and it is good. She's now up to 13 points tonight. Second one by Baldessano is up and good as well. So now I believe Alta will get the possession because it was a technical foul. If you're interested in the boys' game, there are 18 seconds left. They will have the ball with pretty much an opportunity at the final shot. Baldessano guarded by Shimoda. She gets around her, and she will be right back at the free throw line, looking to make it 4 points on this possession.
Interesting foul call. If anything, it seemed like Shimoda may have grabbed her on the way down the lane.
First one is up, and that one is no good. Off the back of the rim.
And now the Hawks have officially entered the bonus. Any fouls called will send them to the line for 2.
Baldessano misses both of them, and it will be Olympus ball after it looked like it may have been tipped off of one of the Titans. Schwartz looking to get it in. Great pressure by the Titans, and then Coach Hunsaker calls a quick timeout. And so during this timeout, Coach Hunsaker probably talking to the Titans about not putting the ball in harm's way. Just keeping the ball away from the Hawks and not trying to force anything. Shimoda inbounding now after the timeout by the Titans. With 3:05 left in this one, Olympus has a 56-40 lead, and the refs will call a foul on Alta, who has a little bit to go until they're in the bonus. Until they put Olympus in the bonus, which is probably their goal to make them shoot free throws. Grace Schwartz gets the inbounds pass, and it is tipped and nearly turned over, but Shimoda comes down with the ball, and Alta commits another foul.
Alta foul, number 22.
4 fouls for the Hawks, and they're going to get the Titans to free throws in no time.
Back in the game for the Hawks, number 33, Brielle.
Coming back into the game for Alta is number 33, Brielle Baird.
She seemed a little shaken up earlier in the game, so good to see her back.
And now the refs discussing yet another issue on the floor, as it looks like it'll be Shimoda shooting free throws. And the Alta coaches seem to have an issue with Maddie Shimoda shooting. I believe they want Grace Schwartz shooting. But now they're taking her away from the three-point line. And it will be an inbounds pass. Schwartz passes to Cromar. And Cromar inside to Bontempo, who's open. Her shot is good. And an update on the boys. They unfortunately lost to Alta on a last-second game-winning three-pointer. Now it's Tessa Cromar who brings it back out. Schwartz with it, and now to Shimoda. The Titans passing it around, and then it's just a miscommunication with Cami Bontempo, and they throw it out of bounds.
And Shimoda, as she threw it to Bontempo kind of turned and watched it roll out of bounds.
With 2 minutes left in this one, Alta just trying to get some momentum for their game, for their last game, which will be against the Brighton Bengals next Tuesday. Cutting to the basket and shooting is Baldessano. She isn't able to put it in the hoop, and Cromar brings it up the floor for the Titans as we're under 2 minutes left. She finds Cami Bontempo, whose shot is no good. Schwartz gets the rebound and brings it back out.
We talked about it earlier. Offensive rebounds were going to be a key to this game if the Titans wanted to win. And they've been getting them like crazy. Schwartz has a few. Bontempo's got a ton. And I believe Josh Baker has a couple as well.
And it was, while they've continued those offensive rebounds in the first half, it was really in the second half, it was really in the first half where they had so many of those to get those extra possessions, and which led to their 17-0 run and really put Alta in a position where they couldn't come back. Grace Schwartz will be shooting 2 now with 141 left in this one. First one is up and good.
Chance to extend the lead back to 20. It's kind of been fluctuating between 15 and 22 throughout this entire fourth.
Yeah, it's been pretty constant, an even second half in that way. It's Ceballos who passes it to Baird, and now Baird is driving. They pass it to Schmickrath, whose mid-range shot is good.
Clean jumper for Schmickrath as she popped out, got the open look, called for the ball, and made a nice shot.
Nearly stolen away by Cami Ferguson, but Baker moves around the defender and puts it in. She's now up to 18 points in this one. After a slow start, she's really recovered.
Yeah, and a little easier when she had such a big lead. She could stat pad a little bit without anyone getting mad at her.
Shooting bonus free throws.
It'll be Audrey Schmickrath at the line. Her first free throws of the game with just under a minute left. First one is up, and it is good.
And she, after her mid-range and a very clean free throw, surprising we didn't see any more shots from her tonight.
Second one bounces around off the backboard and in. So now the deficit for Alta is 17. It would be quite a feat if they could come back from that in the 50 seconds they have left.
Yeah, I don't even think they would have time to take a dribble to be able to come back from this.
They just be shooting half-court shots trying to make it go in. Baker's shot is good off the backboard once again. She is now up to 20 points tonight. Now you have to figure one more shot by Alta, and then this one will be over.
Yeah, if one more shot, they may just hold it, but Izzy Lewis put it up there.
And Baird comes down with the rebound, so the Hawks will have another one. Lewis's shot is up and good right under the basket. But that'll do it tonight, as what a performance for the Olympus Titans to bounce back from that heartbreaking loss against Brighton. They're finally able to get a win, 63-46.
Yeah, they did it in beautiful fashion, beautiful offensive production. They shut down Alta on defense, let them get some points in that fourth quarter, but as we said many times, too little, too late. And Kegel needed to be scoring more in that first half.
It just her efforts in the fourth quarter just ultimately weren't enough for the Hawks, who will now look to regroup. They have one more game before the playoffs. Olympus has 2 of them against East and then at Skyline. So thank you all for watching another edition of Olympus basketball on OlyTV. As mentioned earlier, Alta will play their final game of the season and a big one next Tuesday against Brighton. Olympus on that same Tuesday will host the East High Leopards for senior night, where they will be honoring Eliza Johnson, Joss Baker, Tallulah Colton, Grace Schwartz, Claire Hazen, and Tessa Cromar. We will have that game and all the festivities right here on OlyTV. For the entire production crew and Mr. Miller,
I'm James Schwartz.
And I'm Lucas Pierce. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all next week.